The cold November air swept over the Colorado tarmac as the Kansas City Chiefs charter jet made its descent, the cloud-streaked sky hanging overhead and the anticipation of the pivotal Denver matchup electrifying the atmosphere. Engines still humming, a bustle of activity unfurled immediately. The chief staff and logistics crew hustled to unload gear, uniforms, and personal bags, moving with purpose and precision, their breath clouding in the frigid morning. Yet for all the routine, it was Travis Kelce who immediately commanded the scene, not just with his stature as an all-pro tight end, but through a vivid sense of style that made him impossible to miss. As the aircraft's door swung open, players exited in quick succession, most uniform in their appearance, clad in team-issue tracksuits, insulated jackets, and practical sneakers for warmth and unity. But when Kelce appeared, all eyes veered toward him as if he were the headlining act at a runway show, his stride as much performance as an arrival. He sported a puffer jacket that blazed with bold color blocks, electric blue draped across the shoulders, neon green flashing the chest, and a surge of orange running to the hem, a sharp contrast against the dull, overcast expanse. His pants stole the rest of the show, a riot of vertical stripes in pink, purple, yellow, and green, a kaleidoscope that could have belonged to a 70s glam rock icon, paired effortlessly with a sleek black turtleneck, dark sunglasses, and a leather bag gripped in one hand. The other hand steered a silver suitcase that rolled smoothly beside him, each step deliberate and self-assured, as if Kelce owned the stage. Photographers clustered near the security barricades, lenses clicking furiously, eager to capture every angle. Reporters from local TV stations, bundled in layers, provided live commentary with excitement, some joking that Kelce looked ready for a Hollywood red carpet, not an AFC West clash. Even airport workers, caught in the middle of their routine, paused just long enough to take in the spectacle, some sneaking out their phones for a quick photo. At the perimeter, a group of young fans, faces peeking out from scarves and hats, shouted for autographs, their voices rising above the noise and their eager signs waving in the wind. Subscribe for more Chiefs exclusives and inside football stories. In the midst of it all, Patrick Mahomes caught sight of Kelce's attire and erupted in laughter, nudging a teammate and quipping that only Travis could turn a business trip into a fashion headline. The camaraderie spilled over as teammates teased Kelce, some expressing admiration for his audacity, others swearing their own travel wardrobe would never stray from hoodies and sweatpants. The mood was light, even as the underlying focus on the looming game never faded. Kelce, in response to the good-natured ribbing, grinned widely, waving to the kids and pausing to sign a handful of autographs, his sunglasses masking his eyes, but not the warmth in his gesture. He high-fived fans, posed for a couple of selfies, and exchanged a quick joke with one of the airport ground crew, who seemed both surprised and delighted by the unexpected celebrity moment. As the luggage was loaded and the buses lined up, the Chiefs logistics manager remarked to a colleague that Kelce's arrivals always seemed to shift the entire dynamic. Wherever he went, attention followed naturally, drawing not just fans, but even the most seasoned staff into the orbit of his presence. Already, cell phone photos and candid shots were circulating online, with fashion commentators speculating on the inspiration behind Kelce's bold choices, debating whether the color block jacket was a nod to retro ski style or something more avant-garde. Sports radio shows picked up the conversation, callers chiming in with their own takes, some in awe, others incredulous, but all united by the spectacle. Local Denver media seized the moment, running stories on Kelce's colorful entry, framing it as a show of swagger and perhaps even a psychological jab at the home team, injecting extra drama into the pre-game narrative. Among the Broncos fans who had gathered to catch a glimpse of the visiting squad, whispers and laughter spread as they pointed out Kelce, some conceding that not even their own stars had ever made such a memorable entrance. The Chiefs, meanwhile, boarded their buses, the energy from the tarmac following them as they rode through the city toward their hotel, the Rocky Mountains looming in the distance and the sun dipping behind peaks. On the bus, the conversation buzzed around Kelce's look, with a rookie admitting he wished he had the confidence to pull off something so flashy, while a veteran lineman joked that he'd rather stick to comfort over style, no matter how much attention it got. By the time the team checked in, the story had already taken on a life of its own, with fans in the hotel lobby and bars swapping stories about Kelce's outfit, some predicting it will become one of the most talked about arrivals of the NFL season. Later that evening, As the team gathered for meetings and strategy sessions, the buzz persisted. Social media feeds overflowed with snapshots and clips from the arrival, Chiefs fans flooding the comments with fire emojis and questions about where to get Kelce's jacket, while even rival fans admitted he'd managed to upstage everyone before the game had even started. The team's head coach, addressing the group, underscored the importance of blocking out distractions and preparing for Denver's tough defense, but there was no denying the jolt of energy Kelce had introduced to the trip. Downstairs, Kelce lounged with teammates, still in his signature jacket, sharing stories and fielding more questions about the arrival, his laughter echoing through the lobby. Two Kansas City sports writers, observing from a bar, shared with each other how the fans nearby appear to be as invested in Kelce's airport look as in the actual score, a testament to the impact one player's individuality could have on a collective mood. The next morning, Denver sports radio host devoted entire segments to the Chiefs' arrival, with some callers joking that the Broncos ought to step up their own pregame fashion, and others admitting that Kelce's confidence was infectious. Throughout the city, anticipation for the game built steadily, yet the conversation kept circling back to the airport, how one player's entrance had set the tone for the weekend. Even as the Chiefs ran to their walkthrough at the stadium, local photographers hovered nearby in hopes of catching another colorful glimpse, recognizing that Kelce's arrival had become a story in itself, transcending the boundaries between sports and culture. Subscribe for more behind-the-scenes player arrivals and Chiefs moments. As game time loomed, it was clear that the Chiefs had brought more than their playbook. They brought a sense of spectacle and self-assuredness, embodied by Kelce's willingness to stand out, to merge vintage flair with modern swagger, and to connect with fans and media alike. The city buzzed as the story of the Chiefs' arrival made its rounds, spreading from sports bars to living rooms, from late-night television to social media feeds. Chiefs fans who traveled to Denver for the matchup showed up at the stadium decked out in bold colors, some even sporting homemade versions of Kelce's striped pants, turning the arrival into a mini movement. Kids clutched signs and wore colorful gear, hoping to catch Kelce's eye during warm-ups, while parents snapped photos, eager to preserve the memory. The Chiefs' win that weekend was hard-fought, the visitors' locker room erupting in celebration after the final whistle. Yet even in those moments of triumph, the topic of Kelce's arrival found its way back into conversation. Teammates ribbed him affectionately. Reporters sought one more comment about the now legendary outfit, and Kelce himself brushed it off with a trademark grin, shifting focus back to the game and the next challenge on the schedule. Still, the memory of his arrival lingered, not just for those on the team, but for the fans who'd watched at home, the photographers who captured the moment, and the city of Denver itself. In the days that followed, the images continued to circulate. A burst of color and personality in the midst of a gray November, a story retold every time the Chiefs returned to Colorado, a symbol of what it means to bring your whole self to the field, unafraid to stand out. The legend of Kelce's runway moment became a touchstone for fans, a reminder that sometimes the most unforgettable chapters of the season begin far from the field, on a cold runway where style, swagger, and connection with fans create memories that endure long after the score has faded from the scoreboard. Even as the Chiefs prepared for their next game, the echoes of that arrival persisted, a burst of energy and individuality that set the tone not just for a single weekend, but for the entire season, a vivid testament to the power of presence, both on and off the field, leaving an impression as lasting as any game-winning drive.